quickly because you notice it. Testicular cancer is a great example.
Yeah, except that, of course, ovarian cancer, it tends to be picked up very late. Cancer of the pancreas, really, really key. Very sadly, very late diagnosis. Same thing with cancer of the lungs. Really, every bit of your body is pretty important. I mean, if you're going to get symptoms, you might get blurred vision, you might get flashing lights. I think Tessa said she felt her eyes weren't working quite well enough together. Reduced field of vision loss in one eye. You might get a shadow, or you might see a dark spot on your iris, the coloured part of your eye. But again, most cases it is asymptomatic, but if it is done, then brilliant. Her team, her ocular oncologist, so eye cancer doctor, swept in very, very quickly within 2 weeks, did the procedure, and of course so important because of the risk of melanoma spreading. So let's not forget that melanoma on the skin is the most dangerous kind because it tends to spread. It's much more likely to metastasize to other parts of your body, and so is melanoma of the eye. And that's the reason, of course, for needing it removed.
Right. Kat is in Bristol. You lost your vision when you were 3 in one eye.
I did, yes, yeah. In one eye I lost all of my vision, and then I lost quite a lot of vision in my other eye.
And was that wasn't cancer, that was something else?
No, that was a condition called uveitis, which can be controlled with eye drops, but unfortunately if it's not caught quickly enough, which it wasn't in my case, then it can quite rapidly do quite a lot of damage to your eyes.
Let me just go to Sarah on uveitis, Sarah.
So it's an inflammation of one of the layers of the eye, and it's the uvea is the middle layer of the eye. Now, the problem is it often doesn't cause any symptoms in the short term, and it can be linked in children. I mean, you kind of don't expect, people like Kat when they were children to have got that, but there are certain infections. So, for instance, juvenile inflammatory or idiopathic arthritis, which means arthritis that happens in children and there's no obvious cause for it, JIA. But there's also some infections like toxoplasmosis, herpes virus, that sort of thing can also trigger it.
So tell us about what happened with your eye, Kat, because I know you were in your 20s when you finally had it removed.
Yeah, so from the age of 3 I had no vision, and then my eyes remained the same colour for quite a few years, and then gradually the pigmentation in the iris just starts to disappear. I think it can happen with an eye that's sort of not working, that's dead really, and then the eye lost its colour, so I used to wear a coloured contact lens over the top so it would look better cosmetically, and then gradually it just started to shrink even more and become more painful. And so one of the consultants I used to see recommended that I had the eye removed. He thought it would be better comfort-wise and cosmetically for me. So that was at the age of 29.
And how is your prosthetic then?
It was great. I mean, my oculist was amazing. I've probably had about half a dozen or more prosthetics since then, because the eye can actually still change shape, so you have to get them checked up. The workings of the eye remained there, so they kind of, like the last caller said, the workings of the eye remained there, and it's just a acrylic shell that goes over the top. And they do warn you that some of them will move better than others. So with some of them, they might stay quite fixed and staring if you have an artificial eye. But mine has got quite good movement, which is obviously better for confidence and cosmetically.
But you've got two different coloured eyes now.
Well, to begin with, I had a prosthetic eye made in the same colour as my left eye, but then back in 2019, I had issues with my left eye, resulting in me having a prosthetic cornea in that eye, which is called a K-Pro. And that kind of is a bluey-grey colour. That's the colour of the K-Pro. So my oculist then had to make my prosthetic eye the colour to match that one. So now I've got completely different colour eyes than I was born with.
Well, thank you, Kat. I was going to mention David Bowie, who led the way on different coloured eyes.
Yes.
Thank you so much for talking to us. Really appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Bob in Croydon, you have had, 20 plus operations on your eye. And this is as a result of violence, I gather.
Yes.
So tell us what happened.
Two of my neighbours were being attacked by a gang. I went out and intervened, and they come in with baseball bats and